So ozone depletion. So what is ozone? Ozone is basically O3. Ozone is present in the upper stratosphere. Here, can you see here? Ozone. Oh, sorry. So ozone is present here. Here. If it is present in the lower troposphere, here, it is a problematic. Upper stratosphere, it is fine. So what happens? It is formed in the troposphere, that is in the lower atmosphere. It will harm plants and animals. So it is called as bad ozone. The good ozone is found in the stratosphere. So in the stratosphere, it acts as a shield, absorbing ultraviolet radiation from the sun. So the UV rays are highly injurious since they cause mutation. So the thickness of the ozone is a column of air from the ground to the top of the atmosphere. It is measured in terms of Dobson's unit. So remember this, it is very important. And the chemical which causes degradation of ozone, or the element which causes degradation of ozone, is chlorine. Okay, chlorine. So ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, chlorine they have asked it before, and also Dobson's unit. So remember this, in stratosphere UV rays act on molecular oxygen, causing the production of ozone. UV rays also cause degradation of ozone to O2. These processes are balanced, but this balance is disrupted due to ozone degradation by chlorofluorocarbons. So where are they used? They are used in refrigerators, they are used in air conditioners. Okay, so these CFCs move upward and reach the stratosphere. Okay, in the stratosphere, the sunlight will break the CFC, releasing chlorine. This chlorine will react with a molecule of O3 and destroying ozone. Okay, destroying ozone. Okay, we'll go to the next one. So the UV rays act on CFCs, releasing chlorine. In the presence of chlorine, which acts as a catalyst, ozone degrades to O2. This causes ozone depletion and has formed an ozone hole over the Antarctic region. So where is it? It's in the Antarctic region. So what are the effects? So UV radiation of wavelengths shorter than UV, okay, UVB, are almost completely absorbed by the atmosphere. But UVB causes mutation of DNA, it causes aging of skin, damage of skin cells, skin cancers. High dose of UVB causes inflammation of cornea, that is snow blindness, cataract, etc. It permanently damages the cornea. Corona ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So ozone depletion in the stratosphere. So listen to this. This protocol is very, very important. So the Montreal Protocol. The Montreal Protocol, it's an international treaty that was signed in Canada in 1987 to control the emission of ozone depleting substances. To control the emission of ozone depleting substances. These are the protocols for the developed and the developing countries for reducing emission of CFC and other ozone depleting chemicals. Then the next one, soil erosion. Soil erosion. The human activities like overcultivation, deforestation, grazing, and poor irrigation practices leads to soil erosion. It results in arid patches of land and desertification. Increased urbanization also creates desertification. So can you see here the difference between lands? The next one is waterlogging and salinity. These are the problems, the part of green revolution. So what did we do in green revolution? We had a lot of dams and all that. So irrigation without proper drainage of water leads to waterlogging in the soil. It draws salt to the surface of the soil, and the salt is deposited on the land surface and collects in the plant roots. So if it collects in the plant root, this is will be problematic for agriculture. The next one is deforestation. It is the conversion of forested areas to non-forested ones. So almost 40% of the forests have been lost in the tropics, compared to only 1% in the temperate region. Compared to only 1% in the temperate region. Okay. So the National Forest Policy was brought about in 1988. Okay, 1 second, students. So look at this. 40% have been lost in tropics, compared to only 1% in the temperate region. So the last class I told you, the region between Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn is called as tropics. Then the National Forest Policy 1988 of India has recommended 33% forest cover for plains and 67% for hills. So this is very important. It has told 33% for plains and 67% for hills, but we have only 19.4% of forest cover, okay, which was about 30% in the beginning of 20th century. Then what are the reasons for deforestation? ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಡಿಫಾರೆಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ರೀಸನ್ ಇರಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಟಿಂಬರ್, ಸೊ ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಫೈರ್ವುಡ್ ಸೌದೆಗೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ ರಾಂಚಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಸಮ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಥೌಸಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲ್, ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಹಸುಗಳನ್ನ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸಾಕ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಥರ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ರಾಂಚಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ರಾಂಚಿಂಗ್ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ದೇ ಬರ್ನ್ ದಿ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡೌನ್, ದೇ ಗ್ರೋ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಸ್, ಸೊ ಹುಲ್ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹಸುಗಳು ತಿನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ದೆನ್ there is a type of agriculture called slash and burn agriculture, also called as jhum cultivation in the northeastern states of India. So what is this? In this, the farmers will cut down the forest trees and burn the plant remains. So ಕಾಡ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡಿದು ಮಿಕ್ಕಿರೋ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹಚ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. So the ash, budi, is used as fertilizers. The land is used for farming or grazing. After cultivation, the area is left for several years so as to allow its recovery. Okay. In earlier days, enough time gap was given for recovery. Okay. So now they don't do it. And overpopulation, repeated cultivation decrease the recovery phase, resulting in deforestation. So ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಬೆಳಿತಾರೆ, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಡಿಫಾರೆಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಯ್ತು. Then what are the consequences? Atmospheric CO2 increased. Why? Because all the trees would use up carbon dioxide and give oxygen. Now the atmospheric carbon dioxide has increased. Okay, and that could hold a lot of carbon in their biomass is lost now. Then loss of biodiversity due to habitat destruction. So we have done about habitat destruction in the previous class. That is an ecosystem. Sorry, in biodiversity. Okay, it disturbs hydrological cycle. So male beelad kammi aagta hogutte. Soil erosion and desertification. Next we'll go to. So how do we bring it back? By reforestation. By reforestation. The process of restoring a forest that once existed in the past is called as reforestation. It may occur naturally in the deforested areas. However, we can speed it up by planting trees. So natural it will take hundreds of years, but we can do it by ourselves by planting trees. Then peoples also participated in the conservation of forest. One of the classical example is the Bishnoi movement. In 1731, look at this. In 1731, the king of Jodhpur in Rajasthan asked to arrange wood for constructing a new palace. Okay, but the Bishnoi people there didn't want the soldiers to cut down the trees. So a Bishnoi woman, Amrita Devi, hugged the tree. The king's men cut down the tree along with Amrita Devi and her 3 daughters, and hundreds of Bishnois were also lost their lives saving the trees. So many people were killed in the Bishnoi movement. So because of this, the government of India has instituted the Amrita Devi Bishnoi Wildlife Protection Award for individuals for or communities from rural areas for extraordinary courage and dedication in protecting wildlife. So ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದು, ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Then there are other movements. Chipko movement of Garhwal Himalayas. So in 1974, local women participated to protect trees from the acts of contractors by hugging them. This is called as Chipko movement. The same movement is there in Karnataka also. Appiko Chaluvali anta madidru onsala. So whenever trees had to be prevented, they did this. So people also participated in conservation. So government of India in 1980 introduced the concept of joint forest management to work closely with local communities for protecting and managing forests. In return for their services, the communities get benefit of forest products, fruits, gum, rubber, medicine, etc. Gum, rubber, medicine, etc. Okay, so this is a very easy method of protecting forests. Now students, after 2 minutes we'll start with MCQs. So all of you can look at the MCQs and keep answering. We'll go with the answers. According to the Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, which particulate size and diameter in micrometers of air pollutants is responsible for greatest harm to human health? It is 2.5 or lesser than that. Okay. So, ಯಾವುದು ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಇದು. Go to the next one. So, solve the second question. Addition of phosphates and nitrates fertilizers into water leads to. So they've asked leads to. What is the first step that will happen? Don't go to the last step. Please tell me the first step. Answer. So, yeah, increased algal growth is true, but that is the last step. Nutrient enrichment is correct. Reduced algal growth does not happen. Increased growth of decomposers is there, but D is the correct answer. Nutrient enrichment, that is eutrophication, the immediate effect. I'll kill it. Addition of phosphate and nitrates leads to. First, there will be nutrient enrichment. Then it will lead to increased algal growth, and then to increased growth of decomposition, which is the first step that you should write down. So, attack of asthma in certain persons may be due to. Attack of asthma in certain persons may be due to. So look at it. They've asked asthma. It is slightly because of allergy. So think and answer. Please answer. Fast students. So exposure to cold temperature, sometimes it is true. It is actually inhalation of airborne pollen. So in human health and diseases, we have done this. It is due to inhalation of airborne pollen. So biochemical oxygen demand in a river water. So when does it increase? BOD. BOD, when does it increase? Please answer. So biochemical oxygen demand in a river water increases when sewage gets mixed water with river water current, remains unchanged when algal blooms occur. Wrong. Has no relation with concentration. This is also wrong. Gives the measure of snow. It increases when sewage get mixed with the river water. Very good. Go to the next one. Carbon monoxide is a pollutant because. Please answer. Why is carbon monoxide a pollutant? So let us look at the answers. So reacts with O2 is wrong. It does not react with O2. Yes, it reacts with hemoglobin is correct. It does not inhibit glycolysis. It does not inactivate the nervous system. Remember this. Carbon monoxide gets combined with hemoglobin, and it will not leave hemoglobin because it has high partial pressure when compared to oxygen. So that is why it will react with oxygen. and will reduce the oxygen carrying capacity of blood. Then sixth one, a chemical harmful released by chlorofluorocarbon to ozone is. I've told you this while explaining. Please give me the right answer. Please answer, students. It is chlorine. It is chlorine. Which one of the following is not normally a pollutant? So, it is present in the atmosphere, but it is not a pollutant. It is a pollutant only if the amount of it increases. So, think and answer. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ? ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿನೂ ಇದೆ, ಅರ್ಧಕ್ಕರ್ಧ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿ. ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಹಾಂ, ನೀವು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಥರನೇ ನಿಮಗೂ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತಲ್ವಾ? ದೆನ್ ಫೈನ್. ಓಕೆ. So which one of the following is not normally a pollutant? Not normally a pollutant. So carbon monoxide is always a pollutant. Hydrocarbons are always a pollutant. Sulfur dioxide is always a pollutant. Carbon dioxide is not normally a pollutant. Why? Carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere. Only it's a pollutant only if the quantity increases. So percentage will increase. Only then carbon dioxide is considered a pollutant. Then please answer the eighth one. Decomposition of domestic waste under natural process is called. So think and answer. Decomposition of natural waste. Decomposition of domestic wastes under natural process is called. So here decomposition is there and it is a domestic waste. So it can't be industrial pollution. It can't be thermal pollution because thermal pollution comes from thermal power plant. So here they're telling decomposition, domestic waste. So it is biodegradable pollution. It is non, here decomposition takes place because non-biodegradable won't decompose. So C is the correct answer. So C is the correct answer. We'll go to the next one. DDT is a. So think DDT will undergo biomagnification as it passes on from one trophic level to the next one. Answer, students. So here, DDT is not a greenhouse gas. It is actually a pesticide. It's a non-biodegradable pollutant. Why? It passes on from one trophic level to the next, and it increases in it, causing biomagnification. It is not a degradable pollutant. None of this is also wrong. So B is the correct answer. Then, Escherichia coli used as an indicator organism to determine pollution of water with. So, ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ Escherichia coli ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. E. coli. So, answer students, which of them will have E. coli in this? So, which of the following will have E. coli in it? So, industrial, see, it is E. coli, which is released because of fecal matter, that is human excreta. So, industrial effluents won't be right. Heavy metal is wrong. Pollen from aquatic plants is wrong. It is fecal matter. Next, greenhouse effect is caused by. So, greenhouse effect is caused by. Please answer. Please answer. Greenhouse effect is caused by. It is caused by. One second. It is caused by infrared rays. It is caused by infrared rays. It is not caused by green plants. It's not caused by UV rays. It's not caused by X rays, because infrared rays are usually because of heat. Ah, then 12th one. Increase in the concentration of pollutants in higher trophic levels is known as. Yes. So very simple question. Direct question. One second. Increase in the concentration of pollutants in higher trophic levels is known as biomagnification. Biodegradation is wrong. Eutrophication is wrong. Recycling is wrong. You know, biodegradation, degradation by microorganisms. Then eutrophication. So addition of nitrates and phosphates. Recycling. So whatever waste is there, that would be recycled for reuse. Then lichens indicate pollution by. So take your time and answer, students. Lichens indicate pollution by. Please answer. See, lichens indicate a pollution by sulfur dioxide. It's not ozone, it's not nitrogen. So it indicates pollution by sulfur dioxide, because sulfur dioxide is given out by thermal power plants. Maximum deposition of DDT will occur in. So think which one is a bird here and answer. Maximum deposition of DDT will occur in. Please answer, students. Think and answer. See, phytoplanktons, it would be the lowest. Crabs would be eaten by, sorry, phytoplanktons would be eaten by crab, so it's wrong. Eel is wrong. Seagull is correct. Why? Seagull is a bird. So what happens? It accumulates in seagull and it will interact with the enzyme that are involved in production of the shell. Okay, so such shell would not synthesize and there would be thinning of shells. Then Montreal Protocol aims at. Montreal Protocol aims at. Please answer. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. Montreal Protocol aims at. Yes. So B is correct. Reduction of ozone depleting substances. Very good. Reduction of ozone depleting substances. Next one. The most abundant water pollutant is. Most abundant water pollutant is. Answer. So please answer. Okay. So answer, students. Most abundant water pollutant is. It is actually industrial wastes. Why industries will release such of water pollutants that would not degrade also. Pesticide is wrong, detergent is wrong, ammonia is wrong. Industrial wastes. So most hazardous metal pollutant of automobile exhaust is. Please answer. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ automobile exhaust ಅಂತ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ what would be let into air? That is important. It is actually lead. That is why we are trying to bring down lead in fuel. So let's go to the next one. Noise pollution is measured in. So there is a unit for sound. So please answer, what is the unit for sound? Please answer. See, noise pollution is measured in decibels. Decibel is the unit for sound. Then 19th one. Ozone depletion in stratosphere will cause. Ozone depletion in stratosphere will cause. Please answer. Ozone depletion in stratosphere will cause. Please answer, students. So, because ozone depletion takes place, UV would enter the Earth's atmosphere very easily. So there is increased incidence of skin cancer. Forest fire is wrong. Global warming is wrong. None of these. It's not at all there. Let's go to the next one. Ozone hole is largest over. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Answer ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Correct, correct. Yes, ozone hole is largest over Antarctica. It is wrong. Europe, Africa, and China. Carbon dioxide is called greenhouse gas because carbon dioxide is called a greenhouse gas because ಹೌದಾ? So it is transparent to sunlight but traps heat is correct. Transparent to heat but traps sunlight is wrong. Used in greenhouse to increase plant growth, wrong. Okay. Yes, it is there, but it's not used as a thing. It's naturally there. Transparent to both sunlight and heat, wrong. So transparent to sunlight but traps heat. That is why it causes greenhouse effect. Next, lichens can be used as. Please answer. Lichens can be used as. Lichens can be used as. So they cannot used as source of food. So, so initial vegetation of wastelands is wrong. Bioindicator of water and air pollution is correct. So they can't be used to check air pollution. They are indicators of bio and water pollution. Next, let's go to the next question. 23rd question. Measuring biochemical oxygen demand is a method used for. Please answer. Measuring biochemical demand is a method used for. The correct answer is estimating the amount of organic matter in sewage water. Estimating the amount of organic matter in sewage water. Next, 24th. Pollutants having most lasting effect are. So the pollutants which have the most lasting effect, which are they? Having most lasting effect are. So the correct answer is pesticide. Why? Pesticide will live in trophic levels and they'll be transferred to other trophic levels also. Okay. Then, which one of the following is a wrong statement? Please answer. Which one of the following is a wrong statement? Please answer. Which one of the following is a wrong statement? So greenhouse effect, yes, it's a natural phenomenon. It does happen. Eutrophication, okay, there's a natural phenomena in the water bodies. Okay, cultural eutrophication is by humans. Most of the forests have been lost in tropics area. Correct. Ozone is the in the upper part of the atmosphere is harmful to animals. Wrong. So ozone is the in the upper atmosphere will protect us from UV rays, but in the lower atmosphere it is harmful to animals. So D is the correct answer. So D is the correct answer. They've asked which one is a wrong statement. Okay. So answer the next question. In an area where DDT has been used extensively, the population of birds declined significantly because. So this is wrong. Cobras were feeding. Many of the birds' eggs laid did not hatch. Correct. Why the thinning of eggs took place? The birds stopped laying eggs is wrong. Earthworms in the area got eradicated. That's also wrong. So B is the correct answer. Many of the bird eggs laid did not hatch. Did not hatch. So next 27th. The atmosphere of big metropolitan cities is polluted mostly by. Please answer. It's a very easy question. It's an easy question. Please answer. So it is basically by automobile exhausts, not by radioactive all this. Next question. Non-ionizing radiation with specific biological effects are. So they are UV radiations, non-ionizing radiations. Then we go to the next one. Most harmful environment pollutants are. Please answer. Most harmful environment pollutants are. Those are non-biodegradable chemicals. So because they don't degrade, they remain in the environment, persist in the environment for a very long period. Next, sulfur dioxide affects. Please answer this. Sulfur dioxide affects all the membrane systems. All the membrane systems. Sound becomes a hazardous noise pollution if the level is above. So above 80 decibels is considered as noise. Anything above 80 decibels is considered as noise. So according to the air pollution convention, it is considered as noise. The SO2 and NO2 produce pollution by increasing. So they produce pollution by increasing the acidity. Why? They bring about acid rain. Next, two gases making highest relative contribution to greenhouse gases is. So which are the two main gases? It is carbon dioxide and methane. So carbon dioxide and methane. Which of the following shows biological amplification? So what do they mean by biological amplification? That is biomagnification as the pollutant moves along the trophic levels. So ಒಂದೊಂದು trophic level ಇಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು trophic level ಹೋದಾಗ್ಲೂ concentration ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರಬಹುದು. One classical example for that was a pesticide, that is DDT. So here Hg and cadmium both are right. So the correct answer is C, both A and B. So mercury causes a disease called as Minamata disease. So Minamata disease appeared in Japan because the mercury that was released into oceans by a battery factory. ozone layer in the upper atmosphere is being destroyed by, so the chemical which is released by air coolers, air conditioners, and refrigerants. So it is chlorofluorocarbon. Madam. So we'll stop here, students. We'll stop here. So we'll see you in the next class. All the best. Thank you.